watch me negotiate right now live with the owner of this home. Yeah, this home in McKinney, Texas. Check it out. This house right here, we're gonna try to buy it. The seller wants cash for his house, but we're going to do something fun. We're gonna get creative. I'm gonna try to do seller financing, give him some cash now and pay the rest over time. Have him be the bank. I don't need to go get a loan. I don't need to pull credit. I don't need credentials. Me at any age, I'm 25, but you at 18, you could buy this house if you know how to negotiate it. Okay, check this house out. So here's the house. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, which I was hoping it was 2 baths, but it's 1.5 bath. It's about 1,700 square feet, and it's in McKinney, Texas. Yo, McKinney. Hold on. All right, so for those of you that don't know, McKinney, Texas is here. This is Dallas. McKinney is in far north Dallas. Incredible area, super expensive homes, and it's notorious for its old downtown. This house is next to the old downtown, but it's not an old house. It's in like the 60s. Sounds old, right? It's like 6 years old, but the other houses are like 1920s, 1910s, 1900s, super old, beautiful houses. So here's the house. It needs work. And here's the neighbor's house, really pretty house. I love to do street view. There's an Amazon truck, but there's the house, and this house is actually for sale for $525,000, but it was originally listed at $590,000. So they're having a hard time selling it. It's a very similar house to ours, a 1 bathroom bigger, I believe, and it's totally fixed up. It's really beautiful. This gives me an idea that maybe our house is worth $450, $475, something like that if I fixed it up. Hopping back to street view, we see that the house across the street is fixed up. This is a beautiful neighborhood. I'm so excited. So I'm about to hop on this call, but should I pay, I don't know, like $500,000 for the house? No, because it's not fixed up. There's a tenant living in here, which is not that good, but the house needs work. So at the end of this video, after the call, I'm gonna explain to you what I'm gonna offer on the house, and we're actually gonna write up an offer to the seller. But before I jump into this call, the last thing I wanna say is this deal was brought to me by Maurice in my Discord. This is my awesome Discord. We're all in here talking real estate investing, real estate wholesaling, and people send me deals here all the time, just like Maurice did, and I help them get the deals under contract, and I'll either buy them or help them sell them, and I'll help you, just like I'm helping Maurice, make money. So join the Discord. The link is in the description down below. Anyways, enough talking. Let's jump into the phone call right now. Awesome job, Maurice. I'll talk to you guys in a minute at the end of this video.
Hey, James, this is Maurice. I got my partner, Max, on the line. He's going to pretty much go over the offer that we came up with. Hey, Max.
Okay.
Hey, James, this is Max. How are you?
How you doing, sir?
It's going really well. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today. So I have a fund here in Dallas, Fort Worth. I actually live in Richardson, so I'm not too far from you. I love McKinney. And really, I mean, the situation is that, you know, we can do a cash offer. It's just the difficulty I'm having is the tenants. So their lease is for how much longer, sir?
Another year.
Okay. So they just recently renewed.
Yeah, you just want to wait until the end, just because I'm not in no hurry, and I'll just hold it for you and see if I'll do it then.
No, I mean, yeah, that's an option. So that's one option. I would like to make a deal while we, you know, are still on the same page. So when we do something cash, we're always going in and fixing up a home, whether we're going to fix it up to resell it or whether we're just going to fix it up to then release it at a higher rate. We have good crews and we're always fixing something up if we're going cash. So the situation is if we are going to do cash, and I don't think you wanted too much, right? So you wanted around 300,000, was that correct?
Yeah, I need at least 300,000.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're too far off. Again, I haven't seen the condition of the property. So is it just, you know, when was the last time it was fully renovated?
Oh, man, it's been 12 years, man. That lady just been paying the rent.
I love that. Okay. That's great. So you just have a great tenant in there. You don't really raise rents too much. You just collect the checks every month.
I took it up to $1,600.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's very fair rent for McKinney.
I know it is.
Okay, so, you know, we would have to go in and then capital expenditures, probably roof and maybe some foundation, HVAC, all that fun stuff, right?
Right.
Okay, sounds good. So that just gives me an idea of what I would need to spend to bring it up because, you know, McKinney, everyone's doing high-end rehab in McKinney. So
yeah,
I'd have to spend a lot of money and that's fine. So there's two options here. One is I assume you don't want to, you know, do a cash for keys situation or ask the tenants if they want to leave early, right? You'd like the lease to go for the 12 months, correct?
Yeah, I couldn't do this late.
Okay, no worries. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure we check that off. So if that's not an option, we have two other options. It's either, you know, wait until those tenants are out, or we could maybe do something a little bit more creative. And I know Maurice mentioned that to you. You might be open to seller financing, right?
Well, how much you would put down?
That's why I'm talking to you.
Well, like I told him, I wanted 100. He said that's too much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I had mentioned 100. He said that might be too much.
Yeah. So my situation is that with 100 down, I still have a lot of other costs that go into it, right? We got closing costs. I guess if I'm not fixing up the property, I'm gonna have to fix up the property later. There's a lot of costs that go into it. So, I guess with 100 down, what I like to do for seller financing is determine your most important number. For some people, it's the interest rates. For some people, it's the down payment. For other people, it's, hey, how much monthly money am I going to make? Or how long am I going to be getting paid for? So what other terms did you have in mind? So you want 100 grand down. It's possible. What other numbers did you have in mind?
You got to bump up the price being that you own a financing. Man.
Yes.
So how much more were you willing to pay?
So yeah, that's the other thing, right? We could work with you on the price. It's just, if I'm gonna really work with you on a down payment, I usually like to be less than 10% down on my seller finance deals. But if I'm gonna, bring you 33% roughly, I'm gonna need you to work with me maybe on price or rate or length of the loan, something like that, right? So that's why I can maybe meet you on the down payment if you can work with me somewhere else.
I can work with you on the rate probably.
Okay.
But on down payment, on the amount, how much you willing more to pay? Because you shoot a number at me, and I'm gonna tell you if it could be done.
Okay, gotcha. This is why I enjoy these calls. I'm trying to figure out what's the most important number to you, meet you on that number, and then try to see where the other numbers can work for me. So if we're gonna do 100 grand down, let's say, and we're financing about 200,000, then what did you want to see for a monthly payment? Because right now you're bringing in $1,600 in rent. You own the house free and clear. You have taxes and insurance, but what are you making every single month? Are you making?
I'm probably making about $900 a month.
Okay.
Hey, but now I'm the owner finance. I'm not gonna own a finance for 3 now. You got to come up with more for the owner finance. See what I'm saying? Being that I'm willing to wait on my money, I need to sell it for more.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand. You said you're not going to owner finance at what, sir? It cut out.
What I'm saying is, if I owner finance it to you, it won't be for 3. You have to pay a little bit more for it than $300,000.
Okay.
Now I give you a good interest rate.
Sure. Sure, that's not a problem. Okay, so I don't mind coming up on the price. So I can work with you on the price and either pay you full price or a little bit more than full price if we can work with me on the interest rate. The where you can make the payment and be reasonable when I make a little money. Because I'm not greedy. I don't expect to charge 8% or nothing like that. What's fair to you? Well, I've done deals where I've done just principal only, but I've come up on the price. So in a scenario where we could do something like maybe 100 grand down, and then I offer you, more money for the home. I don't want to say numbers off the top of my head because I still have to double check the taxes and the insurance. But let's say it's a 10% premium or something like that. And then we just do principal only payments. So, if we can get payments close to where you're like the $600-700 a month mark, is that something you'd be open to? You're about pretty much getting what you're getting in cash flow from your property right now, except you don't have to deal with the tenants, you don't have to deal with fixing anything up, nothing like that, and then you're selling your home at a premium. Is that something that might be open?
Can you do I need more than that, man. You do maybe put something together and send it to me, man.
Okay, good.
Okay,
There's no need to got my email address. Put how much I want.
Sure.
Give me two, one cash and one on the finance, and let me look at it. Then I'll respond back to you. Okay.
Sounds good to me. I just like to do these initial calls just so I can feel you out and learn where it's important. I know I have to bring 100 grand to the table, right? Or I have to get really close to that. So now it's trying to work the other numbers.
Yes, work the other numbers and see what it look like. Okay, and then I'll shoot back to you. All right, because I got to show my wife what we have.
That's not a problem. And then if we are close, is it okay? Well, is it okay? Would your tenants allow me to come and see the property and walk the property?
Well, they won't have no choice. All I got to do is call them and tell them,
Yeah.
They won't do it. All right, so.
Well, thank you.
Put something
put the other deal and 2 deals together, and you got my email address.
I got your email address. I know you got to go, sir. I got to ask you one more question. How did you get started with this property? Do you own other properties, or are you a real estate investor? What's the story?
I own like about 10 houses.
Wow.
And I buy them, just keep them over time. I don't, man, the game of buy and flip, it's just too much work, man.
It's a lot of work.
So if I sell this, I'm going to go buy another house.
Wonderful.
Cash. And just hold on to it, you know. I just built the house in Waxahachie last year. I got on Airbnb, and I built it with cash money. And so far this month, man, I've been averaging almost $3,000 a month in Airbnb money.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Waxahachie.
And Waxahachie's booming, man.
That's crazy.
It's gonna be the Frisco of the South, okay? Because the 35 and 287 meet right back over there. That's gonna be the spot, man.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take your tip.
Take my pick. Look it up. And I bought lot 10 years ago for $400 and $500 a piece, and now I can sell them. I might sell 2 of them right now for $38,000 a piece.
Dang, you're Warren Buffett. That's crazy.
But I'm not. It's just buy and hold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real estate is for dummies. All you gotta do is buy and just hold it, man.
I get you. Then why are you selling the McKinney house?
Well, if I sell them, I'm gonna go buy something else.
Gotcha.
I've seen some in Richmond, Texas that I might buy if I sell it. Okay.
No, I completely understand. Well, hey, maybe I can find you some deals too. I mean, so do you also you don't do fix and flips, but you'll buy homes that need work, right?
Need a little work, and because I don't like to go in too much debt. I have never tried debt. I usually pay, but maybe I need to try to, use other people's money going forward. I don't know. I never have used people's money. I just use my money.
Yeah, you got to use other people's money.
That's the dumb thing I've been doing, man. So I probably would have much more, but
hey, you're not. That's not bad. You're not in a bad position. Well, congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah. But anyway, man, let me know. Send it to me.
Wonderful.
Right?
I will send that over to you today.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. See ya. All right, Maurice.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Yes, sir. I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to get your input. How do you think that call went?
I learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? Just the back and forth of saying, hey, if we're going to do the price or we're going to do the down payment, you got to work with me on this, and that. Like, they can't have everything at the end of the day. But it's good that he was open to creative. That was a good phone call to listen to.
Yeah, exactly. I just like to feel them out, and then I'll send over an offer. It's just about learning what's the most important thing to the seller. It seems like his 2 most important things are down payment number 1 and then price number 2. So just between us, I'll tell you so I would probably try to do like 0% interest financing but then try to go up with him on the price. I should have probably explained to him, but I'll explain to him on an offer. So what you do is, hey, if I'm going to give you 3% interest, I can't meet you at the full price. If I'm going to give you 6% interest, then I don't even have to come down on the price. But you would actually prefer that because, hey, I'm a real estate investor. What am I going to do? I'm likely going to sell this property in a few years or refinance. And when I sell or when I refinance, I'm going to be selling or refinancing at that lower price, right? So actually giving you interest, giving you 3 or 6% interest when I refinance eventually, because, hey, that's what we do. Or when I sell, because that's what we do, you're going to be getting cashed out at a lower price. So really, it would behoove you to take a principal-only rate so that I don't, so that when I do sell, you're getting cashed out at the $330,000 price or a $350,000 price. And that's what I'll explain to him on the email. So if we can maybe do something where we bring $100,000 down and then do like a 0% interest rate, it could work, maybe like at a 330 price. I'd have to look. Now, the risk on my side is I'm buying a house, I'm overpaying for a house, so I have to hold that house for the next 10 years to make it worthwhile. I can't be selling that house. And if something goes wrong, I can't sell it and I can't wrap it either. So I just lost an exit strategy. So it really has to be a long-term rental. So what I want to do on my side, and you're welcome to stay with me while I run these numbers, is I'm pretty much going to figure out what the taxes and insurance are, subtract that or add that to my monthly payments to him, and then subtract that by rent and see if I can break even. If I can break even, I'm probably going to be pretty interested, but I'm also putting $100,000 down, so I have to see what my cash on cash return is. Does that all make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's what I'm gonna do right now. So then I can. So if you want to send me over his email, then I can. We can. I can write up an offer that works for me. What an awesome call, guys! This was such a great call. I am so excited for this property. Right now, I'm gonna run you through all the numbers, and we're gonna write an offer. So the first thing we want to do is actually figure out two different things. We want to figure out what the home is worth now, and we also want to figure out what it's gonna rent for. A few different ways to figure out what the home is worth now. Well, the home right next door is trying to sell for $590. They can't. Now they're trying to get $525. We can see that here. Maybe it'll end up selling for, let's say, $500,000, but it has an extra bathroom, so it's worth more than ours, and it's been fixed up. This is telling me what the ARV is, the full potential of the property, the after repair value. So I'm thinking the ARV of our property is probably around $500,000, maybe $475 to be conservative. We could look at more comps to get that number a little bit more accurate. For example, we want to look at closed sales, but this area is really tough to comp because most of the homes are old homes from 1900s, 1910, 1920s. Our house is newer than that. So it's tough to find a brick house that's in this neighborhood, but we're looking. This house is pending, meaning they got an offer, they accepted the offer, it's past its option period. Why is this picture not loading? There we go. And now it's probably going to sell. What it's gonna sell for, I don't know, but dang, this is a beautiful house, and it's a very similar house to ours. As we can see here, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2 full bath. So it's a full bath, not a half bath. We could convert our half bath to a full bath. This house was listed at $525, and it's it's probably going to sell for somewhere around $500,000 if I had to guess. So really saying that our house is going to be worth about $500,000 fixed up is not a stretch. I'm just going to say $475. I think that's a fair number. So what we want to write down right now is $475, and I think that's very conservative, is our after repair value. So is that what the home's worth? No, that's what the home's worth if we fixed it up. If this was a fix and flip. To get it to this condition could cost $75,000. I'm happy to pay, if I was buying for myself, about 80% of ARV in this neighborhood. This is a great neighborhood. So 80% of ARV of 475, and then we would want to subtract maybe 75 grand in repairs. These are just estimates, guys, because I have not seen the property yet. That gives us a offer, a value of, you guys won't believe this, $305,000. That's perfect. The seller wanted $300,000 cash. If I was buying this house for a fixer-upper, would I pay $305,000? About. But if I was buying this to wholesale, I would want to be a lot lower, guys. I could probably sell this house if I was dispoing it for maybe like $295, I think is what I could probably move it for, maybe $299. And so I would want to be getting it at probably like, $285 to make out some money. Maybe you guys should be buying it at $275, something like that, right? That's if I was wholesaling it. But I'm buying it for myself, right? And I don't need to make instant money. So around $300,000 is probably what the house is worth. And there's other ways to look at this. You can just look at what comparable properties sold for. This house is smaller, like 300 square feet smaller, but it's pretty nice inside. I'd say it's rental grade. It's not super nice. And this one sold for $290,000. It only has 1 bathroom. So, ours is easily worth $300,000 if it's in the same condition. It's probably not in the same condition though. Look at more comparables. This is a similar sized house, and it's ugly. And this one sold for $400,000. So honestly, $300,000 is a pretty good deal. So with all that being said, guys, I'm happy to pay $300,000 for the property. If I'm doing creative, I could even go higher. Honestly, I'd feel comfortable going up to $350,000 if I was doing subject to or seller finance. I don't mind because I think this is justifiable. So with my seller finance offer, I'm happy to probably go up to $350,000. I'm probably going to want to try at $330,000 at first. Give the guy a 10% premium. That's probably gonna be my offer. He was talking about wanting more. Let's try at $330,000 and I can probably go up to $350,000. Okay, so that's the first thing that we checked off, but now we gotta figure out what does it rent for, right? He's currently renting it for $1,700, $1,600, I forget. It's too cheap. He's renting it too cheap. Those tenants are out in 12 months and I'm going to re-rent it. I'm going to make the house a little bit nicer, re-rent it. I want to get more. I don't know this market perfect, but I can tell you that type of house in McKinney should be over 2,000, maybe 2,200, right? All day long. If you fix it up and you made it really nice, maybe 2,400, but just rental grade house there should be closer to 2,200. Let's check. We have a 958 square foot house, a shitbox. a little shitbox. I don't know where the pictures went. It's renting for $1,750. We have a big house that's on the market that looks pretty nice. And this one's struggling to bring $2,300. It can't rent. Interesting. Oh, it's smaller than ours, but still, it's a nice house. So weird, right? So it's somewhere between what? $2,300, $1,750. Okay. Here's a house that's on the market for $2,150, and it's a very similar house to ours. Very similar. So yeah, ours is probably $2,200 on the higher end. Maybe I think our neighborhood's better than all these neighborhoods. Our neighborhood looks spectacular, and $2,000 on the low end. So I'm gonna say $2,000 on the low end, and once I can clean up that property and make it nicer, we'll say $2,200. But I think I can get $2,000 all day long. So now we know that our rent is $2,000. We like to be conservative with our numbers. Now what I want to do is subtract PITI. PITI, guys, I'm sure you know this. You've seen my videos. This is our mortgage. And in this case, we're not going to have a mortgage. We're going to have a mortgage to the seller. We're going to have seller financing. And TI is taxes and insurance. You guys all love my drawings. So what is taxes and insurance? Taxes there are brutal, boys and girls. Brutal. They're close to 2.5% of the property value. The property value is probably going to be around $250,000. You guys will learn all this the more you guys do deals. So that's probably about $6,000 a year. So that's at least, let's say $550 a month. That's probably going to be our taxes once they reassess. Don't go look at the tax rolls and say, hey, this is what it's worth. Guys, here are the taxes on the property, okay? That property, it says that it's worth $162,000. And that's land and the house. That's not true, right? When we buy the house, it's going to get reassessed. Our taxes are going to go up. So $250,000 is really conservative. Honestly, it's probably going to be worth about that, right? So, you know, he's currently paying $3,000 a year. Ours is going to double. I mean, it's just going to double. You know what? Just to make our numbers easy, let's say $500 a month. I think that's fair. We're probably going to pay about $500 a month in taxes. So what about insurance? You know, insurance there is probably going to be about $200 a month. So now we're at $700 a month in between taxes and insurance. Okay? But guys, what are the monthly payments to the seller? Well, we know the seller wants $100K down, right? That's a lot of money down, guys. That's a ton of money. You usually want your entry fee to be under 10%. My entry fee is gonna be way over 30%. That's a lot of money. So I really need a good deal on everything else. That means my loan is gonna be $200,000. If we buy the house for $300,000 and we have $100,000 down, that means we have to get a $200,000 mortgage. But he wants a premium. So I'm gonna offer him $330,000 for the house, right? Remember, we talked about the numbers here. I'm going to offer him $330,000 for the house. So that means my mortgage to the seller is going to be $230,000, right? But this $230,000, how are we going to pay this? What's the interest rate? What's the monthly payments? What's the amortization? Let's go check that out. $230,000 at 30 years. I only want to do a 30-year mortgage. I don't like balloons. Screw balloons. I don't want to put a balloon on this deal. I'm going to try 0% interest. I'm literally going to try it. Screw it. Let's try it. I'm bringing the guy $100K down. I'm going to do 0% interest. Either I got to do Morby method on this deal where you take second position and, you know, I got to get a DSCR loan in first position and it's really risky and I don't feel like doing that on this deal. So I'm going to try to get 0% interest. That means I'm going to be paying the guy $640 a month. That means, guys, I'm paying him $640 a month for the next 360 months. At the end of 360 months, he's going to get $230,000. That's a great deal to me, an okay deal to the seller, but he's getting his $100,000 right now, no questions asked. And I'll pay closing costs. And I'll cover all the agent commissions. He may take this. He may take this. Let's see. This is where I'm going to start my offer. 0% interest, 30 years, and about $640 a month. So we have $700 in taxes and insurance, and we have $650 in monthly payments to the seller. So now our PITI, everybody, our pity is, what is it? Is this a pity? Is this going to be a bad deal? Well, no, it's $1,350. So our PITI is $1,350. So these are our expenses every single month. Is this all of our expenses? No. No. You got vacancy. We got, you know, maintenance costs. We have so many things, maybe management. I'm going to self-manage. But, right, there's all these costs. You guys want to at least put away 10% of rent. So if rent's going to be $2,000, so let's just say now our costs are $1,550. Okay, our all-in cost every single month is going to be about $1,550, but we're going to be getting $2,000 in rent. Right now we're not, so I'm just not going to get as much for the first 12 months, but I'm looking at this for a long-term game. That means I'm going to be making $450 in cash flow. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Unfortunately, I had to put $100,000 down, and I'm going to have to give Maurice some money, right? He found me this deal. I can't pay him too much. I'm already coming out of pocket $100 grand. Ugh, that's disgusting. Realtor fees, there's none. Okay, that's a good thing. What about closing costs? Closing costs, Who's gonna pay those? Me, the seller? I don't know. That's gonna be another probably $3,000. So then we got $3,000 in closing costs. Maybe I'll cover those. I'll be a nice guy. If he takes my deal, I'll probably cover those. So now we're at $103,000. I'm gonna have to fix up this property one day, dude. I have a feeling this property's shit, and these people are living like shit. So I'm just to turn it into a livable long-term rental. And you're like, Max, livable? It's already livable. People are living there. I have a feeling it's not in good condition. Probably gonna be at least, let's just say 17 grand. Make the numbers easy, right? So then now we're in 120. Then I got to give Maurice money. I mean, I don't know how much I'm gonna pay Maurice. This is a tight deal. It really depends. But you know, like, let's say I'm in at 125. Okay, just to be able to get $450 a month. That's a lot of money out of my pocket. I could get a private money lender. Maybe I can get the private money lender in first position, and then you know the seller takes second position. That's an option, right? Or I may come out of pocket this. Luckily, in my situation, actually, my family member is going to want a 1031 exchange into a property. They have a lot of cash they need to drop, so this may actually work for me. But anyways, guys, so what's our COC? Is it big? Is it small? Well, hopefully it's big, but unfortunately our entry fee is so high. Our COC, our cash on cash return, is 450 divided by our entry fee of 125,000, which now makes our, or this could be also an all-in cost, depends how you define it. That makes our COC equal to probably not that much. Our COC is probably like what, 4%, maybe a little bit less. Let's do the math. Oh, my bad, guys. Sometimes the math guru himself is dumb. You got to multiply this by 12. It's your annual cash flow. So there you go. So 450 times 12 is equal to 5,400 divided by 125,000 is 4.32. Not a bad guess. So I'm making 4.32% returns. I like to make over 10% returns, right? It's not that great of returns. And that's at 0% interest. So you can see why I have to do 0% interest. Guys, I'm barely making money on this deal. Now, this property is going to appreciate. Is it going to appreciate tomorrow? No. Is it going to appreciate next year? Probably not. Is it going to appreciate in the next 3 years? Maybe not. Appreciate in the next 5 years? Who knows? 10 years plus? Yeah, I'm sure it's going to appreciate. That's real estate. The government prints money, so your value of your assets go up. It's a very simple cycle. Just buy and hold, like our guy was saying, right? Just buy and hold. So this property is probably going to appreciate on average, I'd say 5% a year. Okay, so I'm going to be really making 9.32% returns. But guys, my rent's also going to go up, right? So honestly, I think we're close to about 10% returns when you factor in appreciation, right? That's not bad. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. And I get depreciation. I can depreciate this property, lower my taxes, and I can get a house in McKinney. That's a flex. I love McKinney. So yeah, I think I'm gonna offer about that on this deal. It's gonna be really contingent upon me walking it. But those are the numbers, guys. That's how we do it. So I'm gonna offer pretty much that. I'm gonna shoot the seller an email right now and say, hey, I can buy your house for $330,000 with $100,000 down, a $230,000 loan. This principal only payments for 30 years at $640 a month. And I'll cover closing costs. I need to go and see the property. I'll keep the tenants in place for 12 months and I'll close in the next 30 days. Sounds good to me, right? Well, guys, hopefully you liked this video and this was educational. Let's do what he says. I'll hopefully be making a part 2. If I don't make a part 2, then the deal died. But hopefully I'll be making a part 2. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe. Bye.